If
It's
you want to
good
get,
we're doing the Christmas one now.
yeah,
Cool.
exactly. Yeah, it's actually pretty good because maybe I should change my shit. Something Christmassy.
Our Christmas special. Do I have a Santa Claus hat handy somewhere? Fuck
Should we just do
it.
like our favorite Christmas movies and
Yeah.
then make that the whole subject then?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just take longer on that? I think that's better
Th-
because, yeah, I totally forgot. You're right. We won't be doing it next week.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get this started. Three, two, one. And welcome to People Are Terrible. I'm Jeremy, and I'm joined as always with Caleb. And this is our special Christmas episode of the show, guys. We're going to spread the Christmas cheer all around. You're not even going to realize how not cynical we're being because this is Caleb's favorite holiday. What's up, Caleb?
This is legitimately my favorite holiday. I love this thing so much.
And obviously, it's coming in a little early, probably compared to what you would expect. But next week, we are going to be probably taking a little hiatus, but for good reason. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm having myself a nice little Christmas baby. So my daughter
What?
is due Christmas Day, but they're inducing on the 18th. So I think that's Wednesday, right? So 3 more days. We're
That's
gonna go into the
awesome.
hospital, and she'll probably be here on the 19th or the 20th. So yeah, that weekend I'm probably not gonna be recording.
And I've been gauging your excitement, anticipation, anxiety as much as I could the past couple of months. Where are you at right now on your 1 to 10 excited meter, nervous meter? What's going on?
Surprisingly calm.
Yeah?
And I feel like that's because it's been such a rough pregnancy that now we're like, okay, we're there.
You can see the fucking finish line.
Yeah, exactly. So, uh, I feel like that is the for me the best. It's like, okay, we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the worst is behind us, and I don't have to do the hard work. She does.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but
So,
yeah, man, I'm pretty excited.
good, good. What do you think about being that the days are obviously so close together, could potentially be a Christmas baby? What are your thoughts about gifting? How do you give a child twice as many gifts? Is that even a thing you can do?
So that was one of the things because they were like, "Hey, we recommend we induce. We could do it literally on Wednesday. We could do it on Friday, whatever." I was like, "On Wednesday," and part of the reason was I was like, "I want her to have her own day as she
Mm.
gets old. I don't want her birthday to be Christmas Eve,
I mean,
or
you gotta
Christmas Day."
admit though, there's something cool to be like you share your birthday with the Lord and Savior Himself.
Well, that's the thing. So one of my friends was telling me that growing up, they thought that the whole world celebrated their birthday because when they were kids, because they were born on Christmas.
Mm.
So they would see everything as kids and be like, "This is all for me."
I've heard people talk about that idea of doubling down, and like it just for you guys know what I'm talking about. If you're born on Christmas, that instead of just getting your Christmas presents, you get your Christmas and birthday presents. But like, who's to say what twice that amount of what is? Like, if you get 20 gifts, is that twice as many as the 10 you would have gotten before? My parents never gave us an actual like number of
Set
gifts.
amount, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How about you? Was that how it went down at your house?
No, we just got shit.
Were your
Yeah,
parents big Christmas people?
huge. My mom especially.
Your mom's a boomer parent, and she probably was just loved to give you great gifts as a kid.
My mom did. I mean, we didn't have a ton of money, but they did very much what they could have.
I think we were as poor as we was because my mom spent all of my dad's hard-earned money on us on Christmas.
Really?
Oh God, bro, we got yeah. My mom did it so fucking big on Christmas, and like we were horrible kids. This is not something I'm proud of. I'm just being candid. Hopefully, I can save you guys the heartache later on in your life. But yeah, we were. I would be like, oh man, I wanted the fucking. I didn't want the Xbox. I wanted the PlayStation. This sucks. Not
One,
really that bad, but basically.
we were already having the conversation of like one year we were watching our nephew just get spoiled to shit, and he was super excited for like the first 5 gifts. The other 25,
Yeah.
he was just kind of like whatever. And I told my wife, I was like, I don't want to be those parents. Like, I don't want to be those parents who show that stuff and monetary it equals love.
No,
Like
you don't.
I don't want that to set that precedent. Like they're gonna get a couple of gifts because it's Christmas, but that to me, like that shouldn't be what it's about. And the older I'm getting, the more and more I feel that way. Plus, like I don't want my kid to be like a spoiled little brat. I just
No,
don't.
no. I think, dude, I think it's and I mean, it's easy for me to like, blame the bigger picture for what is wrong in my life. But I think it's a generational thing. I think lots of people of my age group, of our age group, they grew up with parents who wanted to give them the things that they didn't necessarily get as kids because they didn't come from the same financial situation,
Yeah.
and so they overcompensated, and now all of a sudden, it's the whole teach a man to fish versus giving a person a bunch of fish kind of thing.
Well,
And
and then I see so many little kids now who I'm like, you are setting them up for failure in the future.
mhm.
They're never going to be satisfied with what they have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's not a good
100%.
look.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the show. We're gonna continue our conversation about Christmas gifts. We're gonna talk about some of our favorite Christmas movies. But before we do get to that, we're gonna kick things off like we do with some weird news headlines. I haven't even had a chance to look at
I
any of
got a
them yet.
Christmas one right here.
Oh, good. Look at that. What you got?
Airport builds Christmas tree out of confiscated items.
Oh, is
So an
there a
airport,
picture that goes along with it?
yeah, absolutely. I'll send it
Awesome.
over to you.
Yeah,
Um,
shoot that shit to me on Twitter so we can pull it
mm,
up.
yeah, it's actually pretty amazing. It's a giant Christmas tree made out of like there's like a gun spray painted gold on it, which is pretty amazing. It's made out of a bunch of scissors, and it's kind of interesting. Here, I'll send you the link over right now. So let me get into here.
And what airport?
So, an airport in Lithuania is celebrating the holiday by creating a Christmas tree out of prohibited items confiscated by security. Tons of scissors. Apparently, a lot of people like to bring scissors on planes. There's a knife. There's a gun, which is great. There's a box cutter.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So Lithuanian airport said that the tree at Vilnius airport was assembled from prohibited items that were seized by security officers during the screening process. Photos of the quote educational masterpiece tree show hundreds of pairs of scissors as well as knives, box cutters, lighters, and other goods deemed too dangerous. Quote, so if you don't want your personal yet prohibited belongings to land on our next year's Christmas tree, better check out the baggage requirements before you pack for your next flight.
Are we under
I think
the pretenses that that gun is real? I can't tell.
I can't tell. It doesn't really look like it to me.
It doesn't. But still, point taken. That is a very like intense looking tree. I don't know how to say it. Its base is scissors, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of cool looking.
Yeah, that
I
is
kind of
cool.
dig it.
It's like an industrial, like found items Christmas tree. It looks like up top they've got maybe spades. Like somebody tried to bring a dozen spades with them to wherever they're going. They got some avid gardeners. Got box cutters, always a holiday classic.
I mean, it's kind of a clever way to do it. Like it really is.
Yeah, I like it. I'm all for like I said, found art. Like I went to school for art, and I'm actually going back to school, but that's a different conversation. But one of my favorite projects that we did was like a found items project, and basically you just find a bunch of junk and make a sculpture out of it.
There's a pink shovel. Apparently, you can't bring a little kid's pink shovel on the plane.
I heard some funny. What was I listening? I was listening to some podcast the other day, and people talking about what they have and haven't been able to get through airport security with. And one of the people was like, "I went through with a pool cue before," and that surprises me that you'd be able to bring something that you could essentially bludgeon somebody to death with.
My which is probably was an oversight. My friend unknowingly went through with a box of ammo in his carry-on.
Oh, really?
Yep.
No gun
And
though.
we didn't notice it until we got to Seattle to our destination, and then he threw it away on the way back because he's like, I don't want to get in trouble. Like
No.
so he actually went and gave it to a police department. That's what you do if you find bullets. People don't just throw them away. You go call the police or a fire station, and they will take them and dispose of them.
Did not know that.
Yeah, so that's what you do.
What kind of
That's what
ammunition was it?
I don't remember. It was pistol, but I
Okay,
don't remember
handgun.
what caliber.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really as far as I know, anyways. You tell me pistol or rifle, I get the difference. But as far as like specific caliber guns and shit, I know very, very little about
Nah,
it.
he's a gun nut. He knows everything. about him. He probably could tell you everything about what it was, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's some sort of handgun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It goes pew pew pew.
It's crazy to think too that like that got through. It makes you feel real secure.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. Just total oversight. Nobody even addressed it.
Yeah, I'm like, and we put his thing through the X-ray, so they probably just weren't paying attention because there's a box, a fully loaded box of ammo.
So on Friday night, we went to they called it a Nightmare Before Christmas party where it was encouraged to either be dressed up for Christmas or dressed up for Halloween. And they did it big, man. They had all these really cool decorations and stuff up. Like they went all out. They had all this really good food. Everybody had their costumes on. Most everybody went Christmas. Ugly sweaters are easy. I had this like one of those sweater vests that had two T-Rexes on it, and they both have
Nice.
like Santa Claus hats on. So that was my costume. It was relatively simple. Other people were painted up like Jack Skellington and all that kind of stuff. But it was cool to go to something that was themed. Both of them. I've never done that before. But I also saw that there is a couple of really hot items this year as far as the ugly Christmas sweater trend goes, because Walmart in Canada was selling very provocative Christmas sweaters, ugly Christmas sweaters that got pulled off the website. Did you see any of these?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I
so
want to see him though.
all right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot you that link over to the
Also, that was a
people are
phenomenal
terrible.
segue.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Tried to make it natural, and then you.
Yeah, it was very, very natural until I pointed it out. But
Controversial cocaine Santa Christmas sweater now available on Amazon bestseller after Walmart stops offering it. So again, was it an oversight? Was it a marketing fucking stroke of genius?
it's
Because
definitely a cocaine Santa.
yeah, dude, it's so funny. It says "Let It Snow," and then it's got like, I mean, he kind of looks more like a snowman than Santa, but he is straight up geeked out Santa Claus. Big, gigantic pupils. His arms are spread open, super wide. He's got a straw in one hand, and then multiple lines of snow laid out on the table in front of him. And then the description of it says, man, where's the description? I saw that the description is very, very specific, and it's like, we all know that the best kind of snow is grown in South America. It's like, what? What even is this?
Because I see the Amazon one, but it's like saying cocaine Santa on it.
Yeah. They've changed. Let's see.
Yeah.
Walmart sweater. Columbia may sue over Walmart's cocaine Santa sweater. Whoa, look out. There were several that were pulled. One of them was like Mr. Claus, Santa Claus warming his balls
Well,
up
I
by
guess
the
technically
fire.
he is Mr. Claus.
Yeah, it's true. Let's see. Controversial pulled. Let's see how my super sleuthing goes. One in a Walmart pulls Let It Snow. I just want to see. There's other ones that were also equally hilarious. But they're sweaters sold by a third party, so it's not like Walmart was actually making them. It was kind of an oversight, so they released apology for it. And well, I mean, I think it's interesting that Walmart does have like those kind of corporate values in place where consumers are like hold them to the standard of a person or something. You know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean? Like, you think it's weird that like it's Walmart that has those values, or
Yeah, yes. I think it's weird that Walmart has branded themselves as such a big company that they've branded themselves as the place that you can go and get edited versions of music. Like you can't go get the explicit version of an album because
do they still
Walmart.
sell music there?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't bought music in a very long
I
time.
don't think they do. But I know what you mean. They used to do that.
And yeah, and I'm thinking there's got to be other examples of it, but like they would if there's a shirt that's deemed too risky, there's an expectation of Walmart to take it off the shelves instead of just like not fucking buying it. You know what I mean?
It is bizarre too, because I don't even have the expectation that I won't get stabbed while I'm there.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, like,
All right. Like who are these people that are holding Walmart to this standard? It's fine. It's fine.
yeah, like, but like, have you been to a Walmart? That's the shadiest fucking place I've ever been to.
Bro, I am Walmart is to me what the darkness was to Bane. I don't know.
No, dude, Walmart. Like, I grew up in Walmart, you know, too. Like, my parents loved that shit. And I we went. I will go if very very specifically I have to go for something. Um, but I will avoid it. I'm that person. I've turned into that white guy who's like, nah, I'm going to Target and paying more for the same exact shit.
Yes, yes,
Just
100%.
just because of the headache. And I don't know why. Like you can go. So Denver, not really ghetto. I mean, the people in Denver will call their ghettos ghettos. They're a fucking joke.
Yeah, 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 right.
You know, like, but you will even go to a rich neighborhood in in a Walmart in Denver, and you're like, and all of a sudden it's full of ghetto people, and you're like, I don't even know where the fuck you guys came from.
Where did you head from and where are you going after this? I didn't know you guys are real.
Yeah, I'm like, it's the weirdest shit. It reminds me every time I go, people go, "Do you miss back home?" I'm like, I could just go to a Walmart. I feel like I'm back home every fucking time.
Dude, okay, so I found an article. It's in Quran.com. I don't know what that is, but this is the information I was looking for.
Okay.
For those of you guys that were wondering what the description in this product for the Santa Let It Snow was, it says in quotes, "We all know how snow works. It's white, powdery, and the best snow comes straight from South America. That's bad news for jolly old Saint Nick, who lives far away in the North Pole. That's why Santa really likes to savor the moment when he gets his hands on some quality, grade A Colombian snow." Wow. And Colombia's like, nah, fuck that. We, the country of Colombia, are suing Walmart, the corporation. It's so silly. It's so
It's
fucking
dumb as
silly.
shit. All of it is.
Like, and look, Colombia, it ain't our fault that you guys grow a lot of cocaine. You know what I mean? Like,
You remember they're always having like some sort of controversy. You remember when they just like during the last election they had Trump 2020 or 2018 and then Hillary election shirts as well.
uh-huh.
And so like both sides were freaking out and they ended up finally being like, we're pulling them both down. It's
Yeah,
like,
this
okay.
article actually goes on to mention that.
Yeah, I remember that. Like it was a big deal. Like everyone lost their fucking minds. I'm like, guess what? If you don't want the Trump one, don't buy the Trump
Don't
one. If
buy
you don't want
it.
the Hillary, don't buy the Hillary.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a market for us. People just need to lighten up, man.
I've never walked by something that has been like a shirt that's been so offensive that I'm like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like,
Start
I
puffing and huffing and shit.
yeah, like if it's dumb, I'm just like, that's dumb. Like I see a lot of people walking around with dumb shit, you know, like where you're like, that's trashy, cool, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
like
person doesn't make good decisions, and that's it.
yeah, like in or if I see a shirt on a hanger, I'm just like, cool, that's ugly as shit, or that's dumb, or that's whatever. I'm not gonna fucking contact the retailer.
I just now found one of those like picture link articles on the side of that article that I was just now reading, and it's like animals that you didn't know existed. There's some
My,
fucked up looking animals out there, dude. I'm already
uh,
on
uh,
a whole side tangent here.
what is there any animals? Like, what is it?
Let me. There's the picture that made me click the link is the one I'm looking for. I'm sure it's buried
It's
60.
on that. It's on the Fox News article that you sent me.
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, bro. There's like these gigantic crabs, the giant spider crabs. Have you
Oh, I've
seen
seen
those
those things.
before? They're
Those are
like,
terrifying.
dude, huge.
Speaking of animals,
Armadillos.
I got another news story
Oh,
right
please,
here.
please.
So, unusual personals ad leads to date for lonesome duck.
Oh,
I
that's
have
good.
no idea where this is going. I read the headline and threw it in. A Maine man's lonesome duck has a date with a local avian thanks to personal ads he posted on a local bulletin board that ended up on Facebook. Let's see.
So the duck posted the ad on Facebook.
So yes,
Oh,
that's what it was.
gotcha.
That's why it's a story. So Chris Morris of Blue Hill said his duck, Yellow Duck, that's your name of your duck is Yellow Duck, has been showing signs of loneliness ever since her mate and another duck were killed by a bobcat about 2 weeks ago. Morris crafted a personal ads complete with hand-drawn pictures of Yellow Duck to help her find her new companion. Duck seeking duck, the flyer reads. Lonesome runner duck seeks companion. Partner recently deceased. At the bottom, the flyer reads, serious replies only. The flyer was spotted on Blue Hill Co-op on Brook, whatever, posted a photo. The post came to attention of Sadie Green, the owner of Mountain Foot Farm in Dedham. Green said there were several male ducks at her farm. So she's now arranging for Yellow Duck to go get yellow fucked. So
Well, that's sweet,
That's a sweet story,
I
I guess.
guess. Yeah.
I was kind of very disappointed with that. From the headline,
Yeah,
I was like,
that's typical. They bait you
yeah,
in with something that sounds way cooler. Bald
yeah, like
eagle.
unusual personal athletes to date for lonesome duck. I'm like, that sounds great, and it was in the weird news category. And then you click on it, and you're like, oh, okay.
Thousands of penis-like sea worms wash up on California beach. Yeah, this is a headline week. I don't even think this is a real.
I saw those things.
Ugh.
My
I
son.
don't know how penis looking they are, but I guess
They're
I.
kind of they're phallic of some sort.
Yeah, sure, sure. We talked about the banana thing
Yes,
last week, and I mean, we can fucking go back to this for a minute. I was thinking, why don't we all have our own banana wall art? You know,
I think we all should.
like it's very easy to. Oh God, Star Wars! Stop it! Stop it! No more
that the new
Star
trailer?
Wars. Yeah.
I still haven't seen it.
Dude, I watched episode 6 of The Mandalorian yesterday.
How is
Fucking
it?
dude, Bill Burr's in it. Natalia Tina from Game of Thrones is in it. Clancy Brown from Shawshank Redemption and Pet Cemetery 2 and all sorts of other shits in it. It was super cool. But the thing about Mandalorian that either you're gonna like or you're gonna very much dislike is that it is episodic TV from yesteryear. Like you could literally drop in and watch episode 6 and
Oh.
have never seen Mandalorian, and it's its own story, you know?
So that's one of the main reasons I got into anime, because anime was doing like full arcs way before American TV was.
And now
You know?
almost all TV is
Every-
that.
And I hate episodic bullshit. Like there's a couple of shows like Firefly and stuff that I do get into, but 9 times out of 10, just like one episode that doesn't really tie into the next. I don't know why I find that so off-putting.
It just feels very dated at this point.
That works for like sitcoms to me. Like
Yeah.
something stupid like Friends and Seinfeld. Like that's what that format works for like a drama. I just find it very weird. Now hopefully they do the thing that some great shows do where it's episodic, and then you get into a real arc, and this is all just building that character for the actual story.
There
Which
is a
that could be cool.
very, very small little
Through line.
through line that goes all the way through it, but mostly it is Mandalorian gets assigned new target or a new goal for each episode, which in a way the format of the storytelling works for what kind of stories they're telling. But what I like about it is that I don't really want to give Star Wars all that much more like of my mental cachet. So like I'm good
That's
with it just
exactly
being
how I feel, man.
like a little bit at a time is fine. And for you guys that are watching, I'm not hating on Star Wars. You guys know I'm a fan. I got my tickets to go see episode 9, much like Avengers Endgame. I wish episode 9 was the last Star Wars movie ever made, and then we could just put the fucking thing to bed and love it for what it was and all of that kind of
I agree.
stuff.
And then
but-
maybe wait another 20 years if we want to revisit it.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. I don't dislike it. It's gotten to the point where it's just not an event anymore. It's like, oh God, more Star Wars. Here we go.
And to me, that's how I feel like comic book movies. Like I remember when comic book movies were an event for me. Like I would get all my friends together and we'd go. And now it's like, oh, there's a new comic book movie. And you're like, there were like 5 this year.
Yeah, dude, there is not one movie on the fucking Phase 4 slate that I am like diehard anticipating. Like I really and truly, I'm not excited about any of it.
I haven't even looked at it, but I haven't even finished the last phase. And then that's how I feel with Star Wars. I'm not going to even see 9.
You're not even gonna see
anymore.
9?
No,
Man,
the last one I didn't hate it as much as everyone did, but it definitely destroyed what J.J. Abrams was building toward, to where I'm like, I don't really care.
dude, okay, so there have been 8 of the episode movies. Let's say, just roughly estimate 2 hours each. You spent 16 hours out of 18 hours watching every part of the story, and then you're not gonna watch the end?
No, I don't care. I
Dude,
just don't give a shit at all.
you're so far in at this point, you might as well.
I mean, literally, why? So I can sit there and go,
So that
This is-
so that the previous fucking 16 hours don't feel like a complete waste.
well, then if we're going to do that, then my entire life feels like a waste, because I've watched these movies since birth. You know, like I
Right.
don't remember a time not. I probably seen Star Wars hundreds and hundreds of hours at this point.
You remember
Yeah.
back in the beginning of all this when you felt like you were like one of the true OG Star Wars fans? I mean, I'm projecting here. I remember back in
No,
the day
100%.
being like, "Man, I watched Star Wars back before it was cool." And then I realized that like everybody did. Like
No,
it
that's not true.
you don't
There's a
think?
lot of people who got in post prequels even.
Yeah,
It,
I
it
can't relate with that.
so I but where I have that more is with Marvel. Like, because I was
Yes.
the biggest Marvel fanboy. I have Hulk issue 2 literally right next to me. I'm like die hard Marvel. And people, when I was reviewing movies, always thought I hated Marvel. I'm like, no, I love Marvel more than anything.
That's
You
why I
know,
hate it more than anything.
yeah, that's why I'm too close to it. You know,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it's too special to me, to where that I think that's part of the reason I just like I hate this shit. And so that I feel because I meet everyone who's like, oh, I'm the biggest fan, and then I'll bring up stuff that's like not movies, and they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, so you're a big fan of the movies? Okay, I get
Different
it.
different
It's
thing.
a different. You're not a big Marvel fan. You're a big Disney fan, which is fine. I'm not knocking it. It's great.
Weird on that similar note, like I'm a huge Watchmen fan, but not really because I only like the HBO series, which is real fucking weird. Like
I
that.
really want to see it.
Yeah, man, actually my
You didn't
buddy
like the
Kevin.
movie?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Oh, it's my favorite comic book movie ever.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Okay, so then help me reconcile this because I did go okay, so what happened is I tried to watch the movie first, something about the tone of it, something about the vibe of it. It just didn't sync with my sensibilities. Maybe I wanted something that was closer to a Marvel movie. I don't know what it was, but at the time that I saw it, I thought it was weird. I didn't finish it. I heard the Watchmen HBO series was coming out and I was like, "Man, I fucking don't even know anything about this." So I went on YouTube and I watched the motion graphics version of the graphic novel, which I highly recommend to any of you guys that
it's
haven't
great.
read it before because it's a really cool way to consume the content. So I got an impression about what it was, and then I went and I watched the Zack Snyder movie, and I feel like the biggest problem that I have with Zack Snyder's universe is that Dr. Manhattan is the only superhero in the fucking graphic novel. Everybody else is so human, and then you watch the Zack Snyder movie, and everybody that's a member of the Watchmen kicks ass as if they were a superhero. And to me, that feels like thematically it misses the point of what makes Dr. Manhattan so special and the whole idea of costume superheroes in general.
So to me, they're all superheroes, even in the comic. I feel like has like one of the most true, accurate comic book adaptations to date, in my opinion. That film, except for the end, which I actually think is a much better ending in the Snyder movie than the dumb alien thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I actually think that was an improvement. I think it is the most tonally accurate comic book movie to date.
Silk Spectre and Night Owl too, going through there and just fucking murking that entire group of people. I mean, maybe that is from the panels itself. It just felt extended. Like I feel like like the Watchmen should get their asses kicked. Like that's kind of the thing about it to me is like it's dangerous to be a fucking masked vigilante. And I felt like they were just all too badass. But that's a small complaint. But that was kind of my biggest takeaway from it.
No, I love that movie. I also love like his broody moodiness. Anyway, like I love the way he approaches
It's a
comic book
great looking
films.
film. It's a great
Oh
looking
yeah,
film. I would
beautiful.
never take that away from it. And you're right, it is very accurate as far as like panels, that are actually freaking brought to life in a cool and meaningful way. I wonder how you will feel about the show because it is so uh it's very revisionist and it's also very bluntly political, very bluntly allegorical to what's going on in our current times. And I know
I
that
know.
sometimes that
Alan
resonates with you and other times it does not,
Alan Moore hates the new one.
which makes me kind of like it even more.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Alan Moore's a fucking Fruit Loop.
Oh no, he's a crazy person. But yeah, apparently, but he hates everything. He hated, I think, the Snyder ones too.
Yes, yes. He's too
Yeah,
close to it. It's exactly what you just said a minute ago, man. It's like when it's your baby, all you can see is the things that they misinterpreted. And as far as my interpretation of the Watchmen and all that, that's coming from somebody who's not a super fan. So I don't think it probably holds as much weight as somebody who like grew up loving the graphic novels and all that kind of
see, like
shit.
me, like I grew up reading the graphic novel, and then I even I bought the like I have in my garage the collector's edition that's the $100 graphic novel hardcover.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a massive fan. So I remember walking into the theater and just being like mesmerized this movie, and then everyone got out and hated it, and now it seems like the opinions kind of switched. It's pretty like I meet more people who love The Watchmen now than hate it.
Yeah, yeah. My good friend Kevin, who I've been doing the Watchmen watch along with, he's actually driving out from Mobile tonight so that we can watch the finale together,
Nice.
which is fucking awesome. I'm super excited about it because people just don't watch TV like that anymore. So we're trying to figure out a way. We're gonna live stream it, but my question is, I'm trying to figure this out. If I have the audio playing, can I get a copyright strike for that?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because we have to
I
be
would
able to
assume
hear
yes.
it. But if we stream it live and the viewers, because we're not going to put the video on it, we're just going to have the camera facing us so that we can say, all right, the show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, count in, and then everybody watch it together. But, and also that audio coming through would fuck it up for the people who were watching along. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know how to do that because it definitely is a yeah. I think you could probably get a copyright strike.
God, so I've got to figure out a way to run headphones to me and Kevin from the television so that
That's a bitch.
yeah, that might be the only way to do it.
Can you
Or
do two sets of? Do you have any Bluetooth headphones?
no,
I didn't know if you could do two sets because I have two sets of Bluetooth, but I didn't know if we could pair both. I'm assuming.
no, that's a good question. I know I have a like a headphone amp or whatever, so I can plug several sets of headphones into one thing. But then I don't know if I can connect that to the TV. I'll have to spend some time tweaking it and trying to figure it out. But I'm looking forward to it. I think that'll be fucking cool.
Yeah, when eventually I can buy it on Vudu, I'm just gonna buy it and binge watch it.
Yeah, or I could just give you my fucking password after tonight, and you can go watch it when you
Nah,
want.
it's cool. I'll just buy it. I'll want to own it anyway.
All right, man.
Dude, I bought the Watchmen movie 3 times. So I have the theatrical cut, the extended cut, and then the 4-hour cut with all the animation scenes in it.
The Black Freighter and shit.
Yeah. So
Which
it's like
one's the best cut?
The extended for me.
Okay, so the director's cut, basically.
Yeah, the director's cut is the best, and that's typical Snyder films. The director's cuts are always his best versions, and then the studio chops them up.
I told you they go fucking full squid on the series.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, it's wild.
Definitely.
It's wild. It's fucking weird. But anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that another time. What else we got going on? Oh yeah, the reason why we're just talking about whatever is because I didn't do any prep for this podcast. Woo!
So let's move on to Florida Man then.
All right.
I feel rambled on enough.
All right,
We'll
Florida
do quick
Man.
Florida and then go into holiday stuff. It's a Christmas episode anyway.
All I want for Christmas.
So Florida Man Friday. Meet the MAGA Lambo. So I'm gonna send this over to you. You can see this person's car because, of course, Florida. I don't even know what it is. I haven't even read the article, but so let's see. Here we begin. Most Florida story ever.
Oh yeah,
Florida Man. Oh no, that's just
we get a lot of claims of that.
So we don't have any contacts for this Lamborghini, but this Lamborghini has Trump on it. You looking at it?
No. Hold on. Let me pull
I sent it to you. So this Lamborghini has Trump on it.
Uh-huh.
It has, I cannot think of his name, the Israeli prime minister.
Not Netanyahu.
And then it has American flag and a Jewish flag painted all over this car. I don't know. It looks like a wrap of some sort, you know?
Oh yeah.
But all over this Lambo.
What's the guy's name? It's not Netanyahu. It's what's his name? Fucking.
God,
I'll Google it real quick. Israeli.
Yeah, you're right.
Is Netanyahu? Yeah, Benjamin.
Yeah,
Netanyahu.
Benjamin Netanyahu. I could not remember his name. That didn't sound right to me when you said it, but yeah.
Yeah, it didn't sound right to me either. But it's just an unusual name. But dude, I don't know. I don't know about that. What do you think, man? You gonna rock it?
I mean, I'll take the Lambo if someone's gonna give it to me.
Just fucking paint. What about if they said you can have it, but you've got to keep the stuff on it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, 100%. I would rock the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah, it's a Lambo. I mean, granted, I couldn't drive a Lambo. I'm way too big. I couldn't fit in it, but I still would want it. It's a Lambo. But even if I were a diehard MAGA guy, like I would never do that.
No, it is so tacky looking. It looks like, like a car dealership commercial or something. I don't know how to explain it. It looks like I don't know. Let's see. Usually I open Florida May Friday with a cute little intro, but this was incredibly busy.
It doesn't say anything.
No. Oh wait, here we. Oh, Florida man doesn't know art, but he knows what he likes. Alexander Nazarian. Nazarian. Lamborghini spotted by my brother-in-law in Miami. Of course, it's in Miami.
Yep.
Where else would a gaudy car like that be?
I sent you an article, Florida Man Christmas one, that you can take.
All right, let's see here.
I haven't even read it. It just said Christmas. So I was just like, that sounds good.
All right.
There's a
Oh, here we
video
go.
attached.
Let me make sure I've got the okay. Video captures woman stealing wreath, pointing gun at Hollywood homeowner. All right.
All
First I
aboard
was
the
like-
Polar Express train ride on Brightline for a magical trip based on the hit movie.
What?
Enjoy caroling, hot chocolate, a reading of
Movie's
the classic
terrifying.
book, and a special gift from Santa. Visit
The
FTL
Polar Express?
PolarExpressRide.com to book tickets
never
and
seen it.
discover the magic of Christmas with your family.
All right, here we go.
New at 10 o'clock, a man finding danger knocking at his door. A woman packing heat and
Oh my
pounding
God.
to get inside of that home. A frightening and confusing sight. He says he had no idea who that woman is. or what
She's
she
at the
wanted.
wrong
And
house.
it's not the first time she's showed up at his house.
Oh, she must just perpetually have the wrong
She
house.
started screaming nasty words.
Angry and armed. A woman caught on a Ring doorbell cam causing a scene and a scare at this Hollywood home along Monroe Street and South Dixie Highway Tuesday.
It's a
I
decent
stole
neighborhood.
a Discover, whoever,
Dude,
the
that-
person stole
yeah,
a Discover car
Nice neighborhood.
and put the gun in my face.
The video starts with her aggressively ringing the doorbell
Damn,
at
she
around
looks
2 a.m.
disgruntled. I like
Seconds
the
later,
animal
she
print.
starts ranting,
Yeah,
then
man.
leaves,
Zebra print
and
tank
shows
top,
up
you know,
with a
that's
gun.
class.
Yes.
If you look closely, you see her
I
waving
picture a
the
lot of that in
firearm.
I
Florida.
said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yes,
close
there.
the door.
Yes, definitely.
I ran to the phone and called the cops. Then I run and grab my gun.
And those like
Sean Pereira says
velvet
he watched the whole
fucking
scene play
pants.
out and was
The
worried.
joggers.
He would have to
Yes.
take
Like that haven't
action.
been in style in like
started
15 years at
breaking
least.
things up and banging on the house.
Oh
and
no,
she
she's
goes
kicking
around
his
the back of the
decorations.
house, break the gate, then went into the back and just ripped havoc there. I got kids in the house. I got my wife. I got myself.
Before taking off, she tore down
he
the
wearing a
Christmas
Ferrari
door
shirt?
decoration
Yeah.
and more.
I'm like, if he has one, this guy's probably loaded.
Now we put it up back.
And it
And
didn't
the
end
house looks
there.
nice.
The next night she came back. This time around 11:21 p.m.
Holy shit.
She brought back the broken light, projected light, one of it. She brought back the wreath, throw it there quietly, and she stole the new lights we put.
Even more bizarre, he says he doesn't even know the woman.
A gun at your face at that hour of the morning for something you don't know nothing about.
Pereira says police have been patrolling the area to see if they spot her.
I mean, how
Just in
could
case she decides to show up.
it's so weird to
again.
me
It
that
was
like
bad. It was scary.
they don't know how to find these people.
I know.
Like we've clearly got you on video. Do you not have any online presence at all? Because that was like, if I saw that lady in the grocery store in the past month, I would recognize it from that video.
I don't know. I pictured she probably looks like every chick from Florida. Is kind of what I picture every kiddo.
She definitely looks like somebody that would be yelling on the Jerry Springer show.
Oh, 100%.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, it's kind of scary. What do? If you contact the police and you say, "Hey, I've got clear video evidence of this lady. What else do you need to go by?" And then she shows back up again the next night. I mean, what do you think, man? Is it a case of mistaken identity, or is she just like doesn't care? She's crazy.
I think she's crazy and high, probably both.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's
and then
see.
the fact that she came back and stole different decorations.
He
Like,
opened the
that's-
door.
Yeah. Oh, so she knows who it is.
No, he said when Pereira opened the door, she pointed a gun at him. The homeowner said he watched the scene play out and feared that he would have to take action against the woman. If you have any information as to her whereabouts, call Broward County Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS. Remember, you can always remain anonymous, and you may even be eligible for a $3,000 reward. Caleb, do you want to go ahead and call Crime Stoppers?
I feel like we need to just track her down, man.
$3,000 could really go a long ways for the holiday season. I mean,
Man.
we could find somebody who looks similar enough. We'll just go on Facebook, find somebody that looks close. We just need, like, basically, if they have the zebra printed shirt on, we're all halfway there.
Yeah,
and
they're
then,
blonde and have the zebra printed shirt. I feel like you could probably find 30 people.
oh,
with that
100%.
description.
And half of them have probably committed a similar crime. So,
Yeah,
like, our
we could-
odds are pretty good.
We would probably do them pretty well.
Oh,
Even
man.
if we just turn one of them in and it's not really her, it's still probably a criminal off
Yeah,
the street.
still sweeping up the trash off the fucking
Yeah,
streets of
I feel
Florida.
pretty confident about that.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So okay, and this feels like an everyday occurrence at this point. Video shows Florida man masturbating in Walmart toy section. Police say
Why is everyone masturbating in Walmart?
it's always some dude in Florida jerking it in and they don't do it in like the women's lingerie section or some shit. No, they're going straight to the fucking kids aisle. Winter Haven, not sure exactly where that's at, but authorities are asking for help identifying a man they say was caught on camera masturbating in the toy section. I've got these pictures right in front of him. I don't need help identifying. I mean, I could need help putting a name with the face, but like that dude is clear as day on national fucking news now. How can you not find him?
I don't get it.
It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Okay, he said the man entered the Walmart at around 8:30 p.m. and walked around for a bit as though he was looking for someone before he entered the restroom. After leaving the restroom, the man headed to the toy section where a woman and her 12-year-old child were shopping. The man paced in the aisle for a bit before he walked up behind the and began masturbating behind her back while she looked at toys on the shelves. The child, who was sitting in the shopping cart where the lewd act took place, told his mother what he saw the man do, but when she turned around, he was gone. Officers said the incident was captured from a distance. Anyone who recognizes the photo. We've got another phone number here. You want to report somebody for this?
Yeah, I think we should. I'm sure I could find someone who's masturbating in a Walmart.
I mean, I'm not to be racially insensitive, but there is a huge population of like Hispanic dudes down in South Florida that may not have be registered or whatever. He doesn't have any tattoos necessarily that I can see to identify him. He looks pretty standard, pretty nondescript, but it seems like it would be pretty easy to find this guy after this.
I just don't get the whole masturbating in Walmart thing that always comes up. Like I've never been in a Walmart. Like, fuck, man, I'm just horny as a motherfucker right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think we've talked about it in like our kinks and fetishes topic discussion a while back. I think some people like the naughtiness of doing it in public.
I guess, man. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't know. Like, masturbating in a Walmart sounds like the worst place to masturbate.
So I'm going down to the comment section here, and this is where most of the magic happens in these news stories. But let's see if any of these move you. Alberto Villa says, "I don't blame him. Walmart needs to provide better restroom facilities." Is that the solution? Just better restrooms?
That could work. I knew someone who had sex in a Walmart bathroom once, and I thought that was disgusting.
Yes.
I'm like, a public bathroom I don't want to have sex in, but a Walmart public bathroom sounds like the worst place to have sex.
Yeah, that's not a story for the grandkids either.
No, it's like, it's not something to brag about. Like, it's not like, ooh, sexy. It's like, dude, you had sex in a Walmart fucking bathroom.
I got a buddy that we always talked about his sexual conquest in a Waffle House bathroom with one of the servers there.
That's pretty similar.
Yes, it's a very, very similar vibe. Get a grip on yourself, man. Not so great. Oh, here we go. This right here I find very relevant. Another Democrat busted as a diddler. Well, not sure where you got that from, but okay.
That's jumping the gun a little bit. He's like, I just know it's one of them damn libs.
Manager saw him earlier and told him to beat it. I love it. That's all right.
I love how people can literally inject politics into anything, can't they?
That's hilarious.
I don't know about you. Did politics at all pop in your head?
No.
I didn't think like, man, I bet he's a liberal, or I bet he's a conservative, or I bet, like, it literally crazy people.
I wonder what it is about him that scream. They're probably just trolling. It's fine. Oh, speaking of which, dude, I got into it the other day with a guy. I should have known the audience. I social justice warriored myself into a huge fucking dispute on YouTube the other day. I was watching Joe Rogan's most recent. Maybe he's got another one or two up now, but he interviewed Michelle Wolf. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I can't stand her, but I'd love to watch the interview.
She is probably one of his most disliked podcasts. The last I looked, it was 11,000 dislikes, 13,000 likes. And I went, and that's totally valid. If you don't like her, that's fucking fine. I don't care. And
Yeah.
people should be able to fucking voice their dislike or distrust or whatever of her. And as I was looking through the comment section, just how many fucking YouTube commenters with no content, with no fucking picture, just their little default initial or whatever, criticizing the way this woman looks, dude. Just so many of them talking about
See,
how
here's my-
ugly she was.
That's so like I cannot stand her. I think she's unfunny. I find her off-putting in every shape and form. I'll be completely upfront. But like to attack her looks, like come on, bro.
She doesn't have to be fucking good looking, dude. Everybody doesn't have to be
Dude.
attractive.
Like she's not trying to be a model.
Yeah.
You know?
And I said, so I commented and I said, funny how it's always the motherfuckers without a profile picture that are criticizing the way that women look.
And that was your first mistake. You
That's where I
commented on a
fucked up.
YouTube video.
Yep, because just a moment later, somebody chimes in and says the same person that went and disliked every one of your terrible videos or something like that. And I'm not gonna let that shit go. I was like, man, I appreciate your engagement. You know, likes, dislikes, it doesn't matter. The point is that you went there, you watched them, and you clicked a button. You know.
Yeah.
And it went back and forth for a little while. And he called me a snowflake or some shit like that. And I said, look, dude, you need to fucking go get a job and stop fucking harassing people on YouTube. Me and your mother are getting real tired of the basement smelling like farts. And he fucking reported me. After calling me a snowflake, I fucking leaned into him, and it wasn't like a horribly nasty thing to say. I thought it was kind of funny, just like, yeah, me and your mom are getting real tired of the basement smelling like farts. And yeah. Sure enough, boom, fucking reported. And I'm just like, you are the perfect example of, you are the epitome of a fucking hypocrite.
You're a fucking snowflake saying people are snowflakes.
Straight up the most hypocritical fucking bitch move.
I hate the right-wing snowflakes. Like, because one of those weird things that bothers me is hypocrisy. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's the right-wing snowflake it's the right-wing equivalent of people on the left who are like, oh, I'm so open-minded this. And you go, hey, I think this. You can't say that,
Yes.
you piece of shit. You're like, whoa, hypocrite. You said you were open and we shall be able to think this. The right-wing version of that is, you got to have thick skin and be tough and not let shit get to you, fucking snowflake. And then you say anything to them and they're like, report you.
Yeah, dude, it was so antithetical. And to me, it was not a political discussion. I hate the fact, because Joe Rogan is such a male driven space. Like, it is dudes who watch fucking Joe Rogan Experience, and it's like, dude, you're not a man just because you listen to fucking Joe Rogan. Why don't you learn from fucking women in your life and treat ladies with respect? Don't be a fucking piece of shit. And it's like, that doesn't seem like an agenda to me. It's just like, just be a fucking decent person.
I agree.
You know?
I don't know how that's like political. And the thing is, let's be real. Like, as I consider myself a pretty masculine man, being respectful to women is part of that.
Yes.
Being masculine is showing respect to women.
Yes, 100%. And bag on her for a lot of shit, but she ain't sitting on that podcast talking about how hot she is. If she were, it would be totally fucking fair game.
I actually want to see it though, because I love listening to people I disagree with or I dislike, because I feel like that's healthy. It might even put me with some perspective. I might come away liking her. I don't know. We'll see.
I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge Michelle Wolf fan, but I enjoyed it. Her voice, and she knows it. She's self-deprecating, you know. She knows it. She's not a model. That's not what she does.
Like that. Adam ruins everything. I've never been a fan of his. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him on the Joe Rogan podcast. I actually became way less of a fan. But hey, I at least heard what the dude had to say.
Wait, who are we talking about?
The guy from Adam Ruins Everything.
I don't know what that is.
It's this like YouTube show that ended up being, I think, like on TV. It's all right. Yeah, it's one of those things. His whole perspective is like he just ruins things and gets to the truth. It's not. It's very liberal, which is fine. But then he went on Joe Rogan's podcast talking about like people with their bias need to get rid of their own bias and be like, hey, so your opinion's this. What do you think about this study? And he would just like wouldn't want to hear it. No, it's all fake. And you're like, dude, you literally were talking about people need to be open to other information, and that's what your show tries to do.
Yeah.
And then someone sense information that goes against what you think, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, you don't got to be open to that information.
I think you and I have gotten ahead of it, and we try to state it, I mean, fairly often, is that, like, yes, we all should look past our bias, but it's also 100% impossible for us not to be biased. So
Like,
everything that we say and do is biased. We just want it, we try to be
you try to
objective.
combat it as much
Yeah.
as you want, but like, and that's, I feel like, if I don't trust people who say they're unbiased. Like, it makes me to me, I'm like, you're a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Like, you are biased, and that's fine. Just state your bias so I know where your bias is coming from, and we'll be friends.
I think I think it's very, very difficult for some people to be introspective in a way that, like, you can actually be critical of
Oh,
yourself. I think some people don't even have the ability to understand their own bias.
that's like, even though I told you through text I got called woke,
Yeah,
that I was
yeah.
more woke because I wasn't being racist.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, and this was from a guy who's very liberal. And you're way more woke than most people. He's one of those guys. Have you ever met those guys who they think they're liberal because of where they are originally from? They're from the West Coast, so they think they're really liberal. But I'm like, dude, you're not. You're more conservative than most conservatives I know.
Oh, wow.
You know.
Uh-huh.
But he hates Republicans. I'm like, dude, you're like super weird about trans, weird about gay, you're weird about everything. You're way more conservative than I am. Like, way more.
But he
you're from
votes Democrat?
California. Huh?
Does he vote Democrat? Do you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Because he hates Republicans. I'm like, why, dude? You love Republican stuff even more than I do. Like, I have more beef with Republicans. But he was one of those people. He was like, well, you're more woke. I'm like, because I'm not racist, I guess.
Give them the context. Tell the good people what we're talking about
So,
here.
we were talking about someone at work who talks like a surfer bro. And he's like, yeah, when he's selling. And he's and he somehow comes up about how, because that dude, his parents are from India. He goes, dude, you need to hear his impression of his parents. It's hilarious. Like, it's so spot on because he does it. His parents. And I was like, dude, honestly, I would buy more from like an Indian accent over the phone than I would like a surfer bro, yeah, brah, person. Like, I wouldn't buy from that. And he was like, well, I don't know. I that might bother me, but you're a lot more woke than most people. I'm like, because I wouldn't fucking discriminate against someone with an accent.
Yeah. Man, I hear an Indian accent, and the first thing I do is not buy.
Yeah, first thing I'm like, man, I don't trust this motherfucker.
I don't know. Yeah, I felt personally like it made me a little less trustworthy because I don't hear it, but I know I do say dude and bro.
Not have a surfer bro accent.
Do I have a Southern accent?
No, I don't think you really have one.
My boss at work the other day, I think I think there was an ulterior motive, but she's like, hey, I want to get this ad done. I want you to write it and then send it off to this guy because we want it to be regionally like we don't want there to be a regional dialect for it. And you sound a little Southern. I was like, you think I sound Southern? And we're sending it to this guy, Kevin, from Tennessee, who works on a country radio broadcasting, but it wasn't, I don't think it was about the Southernness at all, but I was surprised she even tried to fucking play it off like I did.
I've never heard it.
I say y'all, but I think a lot of
I
people
do
say
say
y'all
too.
now.
I say
Yeah.
y'all, say all y'all.
That's become a more of a national thing than it used to be. Like, if you said y'all, you had to be from the South, but I think because the
agree.
internet and shit, everybody says y'all now.
Well, and I get told I have a Hispanic accent since I moved to Colorado. And
Really?
I'm like, no, I don't. What are you talking about, bro?
No, you and I honestly feel like neither of us have regional
No.
dialects.
I don't think so either. Like, there'll be certain things I'll say where I'm like, you can kind of tell I'm from New Mexico. There'll be a word or two,
I
where
mean,
it's
when you
like,
call me Holmes.
I do say homie sometimes to people.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I do say homie, and I say chica. That's the one thing I do say all the time. Like they go over, and go, what's up, chica? How you been? Like, all the time.
Yeah.
But even when I say it, I sound like a white dude saying it.
I say bro and brother to a lot
I
of
say
my
bro.
friends, and I only ever think about it when I address my black friends as bro and brother. I'm like, is this like not okay?
Oh no, dude! I call my black friends brother.
I do too. Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, brother."
If I modified it, it would be me going out of my way to not be myself to try to accommodate
And then
somebody.
it would be weird.
That's what would make it weird. Yeah, right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That was like we were sitting there at work one time, and I'm hanging out with my friend. Actually, it was his birthday last night. We went out, and he's a brother, and we're sitting at bullshit, and this like nerdy white kid walks up, and he's like, my friend's big, he's huge, he's built, and I'm a big guy too. And we're standing there, and he goes, "Oh, you guys gonna jump me?" Because we're right in front of the door. And my friend's like, just fucking with this white kid's like, "Is it because I'm black?" You know?
Oh no.
And then if this kid would have been like, "Yeah, man, that's exactly what it is," we would all laughed about it. But instead, he goes, "No, no, like my sister's married to a black dude. I have black nieces and nephews." And we go, "Dude, now you made it weird.
You just made it
like,
weird.
you should have said, yes, dude, that's exactly what it is." And we would have laughed
Uh-huh.
about it in the thought, but it was like trying to, and it got so awkward. He's a nice kid, but he was like freaked out. And
I
like,
would
we
have
were
voted for
fucking,
Obama a third term.
yeah,
Ah.
it was pretty funny. We're like, dude, we're fucking with you,
Yeah,
bro.
that's good. That's good. Fuck, I was gonna mention something else about race. No, I don't know. I don't know what I was
I think we
talking
can go
about.
into Christmas time
All right,
stuff. And
before we do, I don't know this story yet, but Florida man faces life sentence in bizarre failed kidnapping plot. A Florida man is facing life sentence after pleading guilty in a failed kidnapping plot for 5 children from Virginia and kill their parents. All right, this is sounding grim, but I do know, spoiler alert, nothing bad happened. But federal prosecutors in Virginia said that Frank Jesse Ammett, 31 years of age, pleaded guilty on Wednesday to 3 charges of a 2018 plot. One of the charges, conspiracy to kill witnesses, carries a mandatory sentence of life in prison. In court documents, prosecutors described a bizarre plot involving Ammett and 3 other people to kidnap 5 children under the age of 8, and it read like the script of a bad horror movie. Prosecutors said if the plan was thwarted and no one was hurt. The plan was thwarted, no one was hurt. Special agent in charge of the division said in a news release that if it weren't for the quick thinking of a parent and a quick response from the sheriffs, the incident could have evolved into something much worse. What happened? Let's see.
so totally off subject. I just opened up the DMs, and Hacks Against Hacks apparently sent us an amazing story from October 25th that we should have covered back then. Woman accused of stealing a pumpkin by hiding it in her vagina.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, hold on. We'll get right back to that. I'm going through the details here, and the best that I can come up with is that they tried to carry out the plan on July 29th. Hayes approached the door of the first house disguised in clothing to appear as a Mennonite. When the parents opened the door, they allegedly forced their subways inside, held the parent at gunpoint. The other parent ran outside and called 911. So basically, it was a home invasion. They were attempting to fucking kidnap 5 kids under 8. It all got thwarted, but not much happened other than that. So good story. Huh?
I said it's good that they stopped it.
Yeah. That actually does sound like it would be a fucking nightmare to kidnap 5 kids under the, like, once you get them, what then? You know what I mean? Like, that sounds like a nightmare.
Watch one kid, it's exhausting.
100%, dude. That would make a really interesting, dark comedy.
I was just thinking the same thing.
That would be a good plot for like a Coen Brothers-esque, or like that movie Very Bad Things, like a mix between Home Alone, where you've got like these incompetent criminals. They go and do a home invasion. You
could even do like a real good horror comedy.
Yes, yeah, dude.
Where like it starts off as a horror film from like their end, but then by the end of it, it's literally them trying to survive being attacked by kids.
Dude. Yeah, bookmark that. Bookmark that. We're coming back to this one. This is how we're going to make our fucking break.
That's it.
All right. Well, all right. Let's talk about your story with the pumpkin and the vagina.
This is an old one. I don't know how. Well, I know how. I never get on Twitter. That's how I missed this one.
What's up, Hacks Against Hacks, by the way? Thank you for checking this out.
This is amazing. So I sent you the article just so you could see the woman. And she looks like she could fit a pumpkin in her vagina.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. She might be able to fit 2 in her. A woman was arrested this morning in Greenville, Mississippi after trying to steal a 15-pound pumpkin from a supermarket by inserting the large squash in her vaginal cavity.
Good Lord.
31-year-old Sonia Smith was intercepted by security guards from Super Value store after they saw her enter the store's bathroom with a pumpkin and come out with it. The security guards first thought Mrs. Smith had either eaten the pumpkin or flushed it down the toilet, but they soon noticed that she was sweating heavily. It looked very uncomfortable. James Reynolds, one of the security guards who intercepted Mrs. Smith, says he was in disbelief when he understood where she had put it. Quote, My colleague suddenly went pale and started muttering something. She can't have. That's impossible. For a few seconds. I understood what he was thinking, and I instantly felt nauseous.
Very nauseous. Very nauseous. The two security guards called the Greenville Police Department, who rapidly proceeded to a cavity search and discovered the pumpkin. Mr. Reynolds says the officers dispatched on the site thought that they were being pranked when they were first explained the situation. In quotes, the policemen just couldn't believe that any woman could fit an entire pumpkin down there. They only accepted to search her because she was screaming and yelling like she was giving birth. Dude, oh my God. The squash showed extremely difficult to extract from the 30-year-old woman, and she had to be transplanted to a hospital where it was finally removed after a delicate 2-hour surgery. Bro, was it for sexual gratification, or did she intend on keeping this pumpkin for the fucking holiday?
So here's the bottom. If you get a source close to her family has confirmed that she suffers from schizophrenia and quote hears voices that command her to insert various objects in her body cavities.
Oh, I wonder what some of the other highlights include on this on this situation. Like, what other great things could she, bro? If she can get a 15-pound pumpkin in there, there are not too many things she could not put in there.
Like, dude, that's the thing, man. You could fucking rent her shit out as a condo at this point. A
Dude,
pumpkin and a 15-pound pumpkin. Like, that's not a small, like one of those little hand pumpkins that you like draw a face on.
I mean, your child that's about to be born is probably going to weigh,
Like
I
6
can't,
to 7 pounds.
that's what I was about to say, 6 to 8 pounds. And that's got to be so insanely painful for a woman.
Pounds, bro.
Holy
And coming
shit.
out the way it was meant to instead of shoving something in, that sounds like awful.
It's interesting that the extraction is the hard part.
Yeah, you would assume it. I mean, I don't know how you even physically. I don't know how she could get a 15-pound pumpkin up there.
No, dude, that
Like,
seems
physically, it doesn't
so
make any
bizarre. Your hips are only so, like, your skeleton is not gonna be
Yeah.
tremendously bigger because you're obese, you know?
No, she probably like. You think she would like crack bones?
Maybe she
Having
did. Drunk Alabama man arrested for sexually assaulting church nativity scene donkey and ox figures. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then Arizona taxidermist arrested for stuffing his dead wife and keeping her on a couch in his living room.
USA man accused of stealing 32 tons of bacon.
Oh, wow.
Man,
That's
okay,
a
we
lot
could
of
go down this
bacon.
rabbit hole. I think we get into Christmas movies.
All right. So, yeah, as we want to do to get into the season, depending on what holiday it is, but I feel like especially Halloween and especially Christmas, there's a lot of movie watching that goes into it, especially for people like ourselves who happen to be pretty big fans of movies. I know you caught a Christmas magic movie yesterday with Suspiria.
Yeah, that was very Christmassy.
But I also know that, you had mentioned the movie Claws to me on Netflix. So well, that's a good place to kick it off, man. Tell us a little bit about Claws.
So that movie it's essentially the story of Santa Claus. It's retold as like how the mythos of this man came around, and it's about a guy who is not Santa Claus going up to I forget exactly where he's at, but he's going up to like essentially the North Pole, and he's setting up a post office, and things ensue that create this legend. The first thing I saw about this movie was the art style, which is just incredible. And it really caught my attention. But honest to God, one of my favorite Christmas movies I have seen in years. Like it is so heartfelt. There's stuff for kids, there's stuff for adults. There's some genuine moments of some darker tones, some more adult themes that kind of hit you right in the feels. And I just was absolutely in love with this film. And I don't like a lot of kids' films, but I loved this movie.
So you kind of have framed it as a kids movie. Do you think it's a movie that kids would like, or do you think it was going to speak more to the sensibilities of adults?
I would have loved it as a kid because I loved stuff like this as a kid. All of my favorite kids' movies were more of this, but I could see its sensibilities being a little more toward the adult end.
It's got an awesome cast. It's got Rashida Jones, Jason Schwartzman, Joan Cusack, J.K. Simmons, Norm Macdonald, Will Say-So. and others as we go down the list. But yeah, I mean, it sounds cool. It's a storyline. When Jesper distinguished himself as the Postal Academy's worst student, he's stationed on a frozen island above the Arctic Circle, where feuding locals hardly exchange words, let alone letters. Jesper is about to give up when he finds an ally and local teacher and discovers Klaus, a mysterious carpenter who lives alone in a cabin full of handmade toys. So, it's a really cool art style, like you said. It's pretty striking. It looks like traditional 2D drawn animation, and then it also is like 3D computer graphics.
Yeah, there was times where I was like, is this computer or is this 2D? Like I couldn't tell through most of the film.
So is it funny?
It's funny-ish at times. Like, I mean, there's some hilarious moments in it. I really enjoyed everything about it. Like it's funny, it's sweet, it's just an all-around feel-good Christmas movie, which I kind of like those this time of year. I'm always about fun Christmas movies.
So have you seen Arthur Christmas?
Arthur Christmas?
It's from 2011. It's a British American 3D computer animated Christmas comedy.
No, I've never seen it, but I always wanted to.
It's very good. It's very good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I guess it's a Sony Pictures production, and I thought it was super cool. It's not one that I watched back in 2011. I don't think I discovered it until maybe 2017, 2018, something like that. And it's James McAvoy, Hugh Laurie, Bill Nighy, Ashley Jensen, several other people. And it's set on Christmas, and it tells the story of Arthur Claus, who is the clumsy but good-hearted son of his father, Santa, who discovers that his high-tech ship has failed to deliver one girl's present. In response, he embarks on a mission to save her Christmas, accompanied only by his free-spirited and reckless grandfather, a rebellious yet enthusiastic young Christmas elf obsessed with wrapping gifts and children, and a team of 8 strong, magical yet untrained reindeer. But pretty typical story, but I really like the way that they handled it from a tech angle. Like there's this, it's almost like a war room where all of the elves are coordinating Santa's trajectory, and his sled is like a super high tech thing. It's really fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and if you guys haven't seen it, I recommend it. I think it's one that probably all ages would enjoy.
I definitely should check it out. That was kind of like the Robert Zemeckis.
Polar Express?
No, didn't he do Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey? Was he responsible for that?
Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, and I never saw that.
I loved it. I saw it like 2 years ago for the first time.
I should watch that.
It's a lot darker. It's a lot more closer to the book. I enjoyed every second of it. But I knew a lot of people who didn't like it because they're like, it's real dark and it's real weird. And I'm like, yeah, it's about a story about a guy being visited by a ton of ghosts.
It should be dark. I know I'm definitely just parroting. Other people have said this a bunch, but that particular era of Zemeckis animation, there was A Christmas Carol, Polar Express, Beowulf.
Destroyed Beowulf. I was so pissed about that.
I did not like the look of it. It was set right there in the uncanny valley that looked like cutscenes from video games. I just don't feel like that style necessarily, and it's as groundbreaking as it is, and it is. There's no question about it. I just feel like it doesn't have it's not an appealing aesthetic to me.
What's your favorite version of A Christmas Carol?
Muppets.
Me too. That was going to be my answer.
Not
Love
even
Muppets.
have to debate on that one. Yeah, dude. And you know what? I have seen that version of A Christmas Carol. Victoria and I watched it probably the same year you did.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I did
also
too.
Like, just because I grew up with it, it's horrible. But the Albert Finney version of
Oh yeah,
that one, Scrooge, I always like that.
yeah, most
It's just maybe
definitely.
because I grew up with it, not because it's good. It's
What-
actually pretty bad.
What do you think about Scrooged?
I love Scrooged. I watch it every year.
Okay, I love Bill Murray. I fucking hate Scrooged. I hate
Really?
Scrooged. Isn't that weird?
Love it so much. If anything, I feel like you and me should be reversed on this. It seems like a movie I would hate and you would love.
It does. Oh, it absolutely does. There's something to me that feels so fucking cynical about that movie, and Bill Murray's like
Oh, it is.
revelation at the end when he learns the magic of Christmas just seems so to me unearned. Listen to me. I'm not going to sit here and shit on the Christmas spirit. All right, you're not going to put me in that situation. But I promise you guys go back and watch it again. Just go on YouTube. Watch it out of context. It'll fuck you up even more. Watch
Oh
the
yeah, it's a
scene,
weird movie.
dude. I can't not. No, I can't. We'll get a copyright claim for no reason. But yeah, it does have great moments in it. I actually really like a lot of the performances in it, and Bill Murray is the best. But it just feels so cynical. It feels like the very corporate thinking that it seems to try to condemn at the end of the movie.
I can kind of see that. That I
That's
think is a
Christmas
fair
though in a
assessment.
nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Christmas, and yeah, that's kind of what all of this is. It's like family and not money, but here's this big budget project to make us money.
Yes, and that's it,
Right, all those emotions.
it's that what you were talking about earlier about kind of like buying love, and there's
Mhm.
this intrinsic relationship between consumerism and capitalism, and then sentimentality and, like you said, familyness and togetherness. And to me, once you get over analytical about it and get cynical about it, it starts to feel a little gross sometimes. And I think that's why I tend to be a little bit more I guess, apprehensive about Christmas movies, is because I always feel like, is this earnest or is this just another way to exploit people, around this time of
I
year?
you think a movie you would like that I just watched that I absolutely loved on Hulu is A Nasty Piece of Work. It's a Christmas movie that is very like anti-corporate uh, type of mentality, while also kind of being pro-corporate at the same time. But it's really well done. It's a low-budget film. It's the part of the Bloomhouse.
Oh, it's an Into the Dark movie.
Dark, yeah.
And you did
Um,
not like Pilgrim.
no,
So I should watch this one then. I didn't see Pilgrim.
Pilgrim was bad. This is hilarious. Like I
Awesome.
watched it with my brother, and we were dying of laughter through 90% of this movie.
Oh, well, I'm all over it, man. So what's it
And then
about?
so it's about a guy who I don't want to take anything too much of it, but
Yeah.
his CEO comes and he goes, "Hey, I want you and your wife to meet me at my house for Christmas dinner." You know, and he calls up his wife. He's like, "This is a huge opportunity. Like this dude is like the owner of our company. This is or the CEO. This is a big deal. We need to go." And they go to this giant mansion with his wife, and shit gets weird real quick.
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm gonna watch this, in the next couple of days. With it being as close to Christmas, and it's hard for me and Victoria to necessarily find movies that we agree on. But if I can just be like, "Oh, it's a Christmas movie, it's seasonal, we gotta watch it," she'll be like,
So we
"Okay,
watched it on Friday the 13th in December.
I love it, love it."
Perfect. And we watched that, and then we watched Puka, which is also a Christmas horror film that I really enjoyed.
And it's also an Into the Dark from last year, right?
Yep. Now
Yeah.
this one's much better. This one's much better than Puka, but I did enjoy a lot of that as well.
So I don't think that you are a big fan of musicals. I could probably say, huh?
Unless it's Muppet singing, I'm not really into it.
There's a Hulu movie. It's not a Hulu movie, but it's available
Oh,
on
the Anna?
Hulu. It's called Anna and the Apocalypse.
I really want to see it. I need to watch it.
It is my fucking favorite, dude. Right now, I've watched it 3 times since it originally. I think I saw it the first time about 2 weeks ago, and I've put it on twice since then. It is a mix between Shaun of the Dead and Glee. Like, is literally the best way that I can sum it up. And so, if you aren't a fan of the kind of High School Musical genre, I could understand watching it and being like, no, 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 this is not for me. I would totally understand that. But if there is a part of you that like I love Little Shop of Horror and Rocky Horror Picture Show, I think are 2 of my
I do like
absolute
Little Shop of Horror,
favorite
the remake,
movies.
right?
Yeah, the Frank Oz one. Yeah, I think those 2 movies are fantastic. And Anna and the Apocalypse it's British, and it's kind of more pop sensibilities than like ballads like Disney. So like the actual songs, they're good, they're catchy, they're like I don't know. I really enjoy this movie. So basically, it's a girl named Anna. She's got her best friend that's a guy who likes her, unrequited love thing. She's got an ex-boyfriend who is kind of a piece of shit, but like she's got a relationship with him. And she goes to school one morning and realizes that there's a zombie apocalypse happening in the outside world. So her and her friends have to try to make it back to their families and musical numbers and chaos ensue, and it's really, really well done. There are certain scenes in it that you're like, oh, this is very close to blank, like the inciting incident. Anna is listening to a song, and the lyrics of the song really go along with the fact that she's like oblivious to what's going on around her. She's got her ear pods in, and she's dancing around, and in the background behind her, you just see all this chaos happening, people running down the street, getting tackled by zombies, and she's not aware of any of it. And you're like, oh, okay, that's very much like a nod to the Shaun of the Dead scene, you know? But I highly recommend it. This is one that I've been fucking trying to recommend to people, but it's very specific taste. So I don't
been
know.
on my radar for a long time, but now that it's on Hulu right now, I'll need to watch it because while it's still there before it expires.
Uh-huh.
What are some of your like go-to ones that you watch every year?
I mean, my favorite Christmas movie, and this is a controversial statement apparently, but I love A Christmas Story. I know that they play it all the fucking time because people hate it because of how much it gets played on 24-hour loops on fucking 3 different networks every single year.
You just literally blew my mind. That was definitely one I watch every year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
I didn't know
best.
people hate it. I love Christmas Story.
It is so perfect. It's so earnest and saccharine and also self-aware and meta that like it works so well on multiple different levels because it knows it's schmaltz and it does it in a really, really good and endearing way.
Bad Santa is one of my go-to.
It's a great one. It's a very, very funny movie.
Love Bad Santa. Like I watch it all the time. I actually was thinking about watching Bad Santa 2, but it's $15. I've seen it in theaters. It was okay.
I was gonna
It's
ask about it.
on Vudu, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay $15 for a movie that's just okay.
Yeah, I didn't ever even get around to watching it.
It's like people are like it got like a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of
So it's just
course.
like it's not that bad. It's more Bad Santa. It's just not as great as the first.
Is the girl in it?
His
Gilmore Girl?
girlfriend?
Yeah.
I think so, but it's honestly, I saw it opening day on theaters, watched it, had a good time, laughed, going and walked out and was like, oh yeah, it's not as good as the first, and I can't remember anything about it.
So,
You know,
so another kind of holiday staple for me is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the Rankin and Bass old stop motion.
oh okay, cool.
Did you ever watch that?
My mom's obsessed with all of those movies.
That's how they were introduced into my house. I mean, that was way before our time, but yeah, I grew up watching those because my mom loved them, and so therefore we watched them a lot.
They remind me of my mom. Like I don't like them, but I like if they're on it. There's that sentimentality because they remind me of my mom.
I love
know?
stop motion. I'd imagine you do as well. Yeah, there's just something about the craft, like the handcraftedness of it, that I really
Dude.
miss. That hand touch, the fucking tangibility that you would get in hand drawn animation and stop motion. That's just not there with the polish of CG.
Like the Aardman movies are some of my favorite. Wallace and Gromit is one of my favorite things of all
So
time.
good.
Like
Yes.
I watch those anytime. If anyone was like, "Hey, you want to watch Wallace and Gromit?" I'm there. Like I will watch it and I will enjoy it every single time.
What do you think about movies like Krampus?
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Christmas Horror Story I like better.
That's got Krampus in it, doesn't it?
Yes.
I hadn't
So
seen
Christmas
it.
Horror Story is worse and better all at the same time. Like it's really low budget. It's really campy. It's like campy B movie horror, but it's actually better written than Krampus. Like as an entire through plot, it's 3 short stories, and the only through line is you keep seeing William Shatner. He's a DJ and he's talking through the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I love Christmas Horror Story.
I'm gonna have to
everyone I
watch
showed you
that.
hates it, but I'm like, it's. I think you would like it, but you have to go in knowing like this is real going to be camp.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
movie camp. Like if you go in with that mentality, if you go in thinking, yeah, this is going to be a masterpiece, like, yeah, you're going to hate it.
Tell me again what that first one, that the Into the Dark that you mentioned was.
Oh, let me pull it up because I thank God for Letterbox, man. I've created a Letterbox account just to vlog every movie I watch. So a nasty piece of work.
A nasty piece of work. I'm actually making myself a list. I'm
Dude,
gonna
a
check
nasty
it
piece of work
twice.
is phenomenal. Like I think you will enjoy it. It's a horror comedy, which I love horror comedy. It's
Uh-huh.
like It's one of my favorite things.
That's why I
And
wanted to like Krampus a little bit more because same deal. Like I love horror comedies, and I felt like Krampus wasn't all that funny and it wasn't all that scary.
I was just gonna say, I didn't lean into the comedy nearly enough.
No, no, and it did have a very nihilistically dark ending, and I appreciate that. And I actually really like the creature design of everything, but I thought it was a little silly that Krampus like called on any of those minions when he so clearly was like physically superior. Like he could have killed that whole family in the first act. I mean,
Have you seen Rare Exports?
yes, that movie is awesome and fucking weird.
Loved it through the 99% of that movie until that third act when you're like, okay, we're gonna see Krampus, and you're like, or Santa, and you're like, oh, I just get to see a giant ice block and then a CGI fest. And
Yeah.
you're like, it was like everything up to that end was so perfect though.
It's so weird. You can't not like it. If you guys haven't seen that, it's I feel like it's Swedish or Danish or something like that.
Watched it for the first time this year.
Did
It's
you?
always been on the radar, never seen it, and it was on Hulu because Hulu is far superior to Netflix if you like indie film. and
Would you
weirder stuff.
would you say that you were let down or you were happy like pleasantly surprised?
I was let down.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
think because I loved the beginning of that film so much. Like I was like, this movie is every bit as good as everyone says. And then the ending, I'm like, why did you turn and take this weird little indie film and try to go blockbuster in the last 15
Yeah,
minutes?
no, I get it. 100%. So holiday staple for me in my house growing up, obviously Christmas Vacation. Not a very controversial pick there.
We watched it already this year. Yep, we put it on while we were putting up our Christmas tree.
Cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie.
Dude, the whole movie's just so fucking funny, man. So
Yeah, it's-
funny.
You know what's a bad Christmas movie that I kind of like? Christmas with the Cranks.
Never seen it.
With Tim Allen.
Never seen it.
It's, don't get me wrong, it's bad. But all these Christmas movies are. Like, to me, like, oh, one that I do love that I am obsessed with, Love Actually.
Yeah, I think you told me that recently. Maybe it was somebody was telling me that that's like a really. It was you. You told me there's
Yeah,
a good Christmas movie. I need to
I
watch
watch
that.
it every year, man. Every single year we've already watched it. I think you will enjoy it as like someone who is married and stuff because it has some real genuine moments about marriage, about like the struggles with it, about young love, about like it's because it's just a bunch of different love stories
Uh-huh.
that are all kind of tangentially connected, but not really. You know?
Yeah, that sounds like something. I'm gonna actually write that one down as well. What do you think about Jim Carrey's version of The Grinch?
I hate that movie.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a
Did
fan
you
at
see the
all.
new one?
No, I didn't see the new one.
It's on Netflix right now.
Oh, really?
I watched it the other day. It's good, but it's the original's the only way to go in that. It doesn't seem to work when you stretch it out to a 2-hour film.
No, there's not. No Dr. Seuss book should be turned into anything other than a short animated fucking film with Boris Karloff doing the voice of the Grinch. If it's
I
not that,
agree.
I'm good.
Like, and that's like everyone. I like the new one better than I did. Like, so my brother loves the Jim Carrey one. So he was like, "Let's buy it one year and we'll watch it." He's like, "You'll probably like it this time." I was like, "I didn't like it when it came out, but I hadn't seen it again, so I bought it and I gave it another chance." I'm like, I just don't like this movie.
It's very off-putting.
Yeah, like I
Very
don't get it.
off-putting.
Like, I find it and people love it.
Uh-huh. Yes, they
Yeah.
do. That's one that you've got some ardent defenders of. Elf, on the other hand, is one that I actually really do like that a lot of people seem to love.
I've saw it once, and I didn't ever really think about. Apparently, my alarm's going off. I don't know why I have my alarm set for 8:30, but Elf was one of those ones where I don't remember. I remember liking it, but never watched it more than once.
I think it's good, but I can also I could see that. I mean, it's like you said about Christmas movies. They're not necessarily all that great. They just happen to have, there's people have a deep connection to them, and especially if they become part of your ritual, if they do become like canonized Christmas movies that you go back and revisit, it becomes kind of a part of their tradition. And so, but Elf is one that I didn't watch until maybe 5 years ago was the first time I'd ever seen it, and I was
I saw it when I
pleasantly
was a
surprised.
teenager whenever it came out,
Do you think that was a good or a bad time for you to have discovered something like that? Because I find in my teen years was when I was the most cynical about movies.
Yeah, it was probably a bad time. I would agree. That's when I hated everything.
Yeah.
Like I still don't like a lot of shit, but like I didn't want anything but like art house films
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah,
You know,
if it was movies that were made for kids, I'm like, oh, that's kid shit. I can't get anything out of that. Or it's if it wasn't like The Matrix, it's like fucking movies for old people. I can't get into it. And now like I can appreciate and kind of watch movies.
when I was a kid, I watched like all weird art when I was a teen, like weird art house, indie, bizarre shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like that's what was my, and I still have those sensibilities like it carried over,
Uh-huh.
but now I can appreciate a dumb movie. You know, like the movie I just recommended, a nasty piece of work. Is it good? No, but I love it.
Yeah, 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 for sure. Okay, Home Alone.
I don't like Home Alone
No?
at all.
Hmm. I like it a bit, but not I don't love it, but I do like it.
Like, you know what we do watch every year? Batman Returns.
Okay, I see you. That is definitely a Christmas movie.
Every single year. In fact, we need to watch it. I'm just realizing, like, man, it's almost time. Maybe we should watch it today because Christmas is going to be here soon.
Yeah, it's coming real fast for you as well. You're not going to have as much time at the house to do that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah, it's a
So
good
I'm like,
one.
yeah, Batman Returns is a huge one. I
I'm
know
not
there's
even
more.
going to throw fucking. I mean, we know Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Great, move on.
I don't watch
Gremlins?
it, though, do you?
Huh, no, I don't.
I do say it's a Christmas movie. Same as Batman Returns. Gremlins, I like. I'm not as big a fan.
Oh, I love Gremlins. I think you knew that about me though.
Yeah, I like two better than one.
I get it. I can understand that. I appreciate it. I actually I spoke with this guy Ryan. I can't remember what his last name is right now. I got an interview with him up on the Movies Are Terrible YouTube channel. He made the fan film.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was great.
the fan film was excellent.
He did this dude Eric Fox did all of the creature design for it, and Eric Fox was one of the winners of like season 5 of Face Off, and his Gremlins were very true to the original while being a completely unique creation. And I actually did a really cool interview with him as well. So yeah, if you guys want to check those out, it's pretty cool to be able to talk Gremlins with people.
The Gremlins, the first one's a Christmas. Second one, is it a Christmas movie too?
Yeah, but less so. But yeah.
I think it takes place during Christmas, but it doesn't, like, when I think of a Christmas movie, I don't think of Gremlins 2 as a Christmas movie.
I always, and I swear to God, dude, one of the best scenes in a movie ever is the scene in Gremlins where Phoebe Cates is reciting or, recounting why she hates Christmas because of her, the experience she had with her father, dressing like Santa coming down the chimney. I find that to be so fucking funny. It is the darkest and most like confusing because it is, there is pathos in it, but it's so goddamn terrible that it's hilarious.
It's one of those films that, like, it's kind of insane that became a classic. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like it should be a movie everyone hates, but everyone loves it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like, I love it for that reason because it's so fucking weird and people love it.
What about Nightmare Before Christmas? I think I already know how you feel about this.
It's all right.
You don't dislike it, or you don't.
No, I think there's elements of it that are great. I think I would even go farther. I think it's good. I feel like the hype around it is extremely overblown.
It's weird.
You know,
A Nightmare Before Christmas is the reason why Hot Topic exists.
exactly. I feel like that's more the problem I have with it, not the film itself. If that makes sense.
No, 100%, dude. I remember though going to Disney World, and actually they had a huge glass encased set where you can walk around the graveyard and like the whole entire fucking set from A Nightmare Before Christmas. They had it there,
cool.
and dude, it was just so. That's the kind. From that perspective and just like the character design and all of that kind of stuff, the fact that there were like hundreds of different heads, because instead of moving Jack's face to make his expressions, they literally had a different head for every frame in each of his ranges of emotions. So they would just swap the heads out to keep it from getting like, smudged or fingerprints or not quite being right. So
I feel like visually, aesthetically is where it really, where its value is, more than the actual film.
Tim Burton, that kind of sums him up in a nutshell.
Like, yeah, I would agree with that.
And also that mix between fucking sentimentality and consumerism. I think Tim Burton kind of exists in that little area too.
And I feel like Tim Burton's best films are the ones he didn't direct, like A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that he didn't direct that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I'm always like, I think he's a phenomenal producer and all that. I just don't like him very much as a director per se.
You got any other ones that you're thinking of? I got like one more that I'm thinking of in
I'm
particular.
sure there's so many that we said Muppets, we said Christmas Scrooged, Christmas Story. I think we got most of the ones I got.
Have you ever seen The Ref with with Dennis Leary in it?
I've heard of it, but I've never like even seen the trailer for it.
Oh, it's so good. So it's actually Kevin Spacey is the star of it. Him and his wife are wealthy, you know, kind of Ivy League educated family. They've got kids who hate them. They're just like a very dysfunctional family. Dennis Leary's a con man who comes in and he's on the run from the law. He ends up holding up in their house and holding them all hostage, and ends up inadvertently becoming their marriage counselor.
Okay.
It came out in 1994, and it is so fucking good, dude. Like, I really think you would enjoy it. Lots of really good dialogue in it, but yeah, it's a black comedy, and on Christmas Eve, let's see, in a charming Connecticut village, Lloyd and Carolyn are in marriage counseling on Christmas Eve. The session does not go well, and other problems become evident. Carolyn has an affair, and Lloyd is miserable and blames their problems on their 14-year-old son on his wife. And meanwhile, a criminal named Gus is in the midst of stealing jewelry from a safe in a home he's broken into. However, he accidentally sets off the alarm. A trapdoor opens. He lands in the basement. Only after being bitten on the leg by a guard dog is he able to escape, but his getaway car is no longer there. Then he runs into the other people's house, ends up holding them all hostage, and realizes he's
Cover's
gotten
the
in.
one where he has his like leg up and they're like in a chair.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I think yeah, it's like I do remember that one.
Dude, yeah. If you have not had a chance to watch that one yet, and you're looking for some, you know, it's a little different as far as a Christmas movie goes. It's a crime thriller / comedy, and you don't get a lot of those as far as Christmas movies go. So I like the ones that are just adjacent to being just straight Christmas movies. Like,
I'm the same way.
Victoria and I watched the new Anna Kendrick one. Noel is what it's called.
No, I've never even heard of it.
It's a Disney Plus exclusive. It just was released 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we also watched A Christmas Prince, which is a Netflix one that's got Vanessa Hudgens in it. And both of those are the kind of Christmas movies I don't like that I think girls like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know the exact type. Like I don't dig those type of movies.
Like Hallmark movies.
No. You know what I just thought of though was Just Friends. I do love Just Friends.
Never seen it.
With Ryan Reynolds?
He's got the fat suit on. I know that.
It's amazing. It's amazing for anyone who's been a nerd and then isn't a nerd and can like actually talk to women. And I feel like me, because I was fat, and even though I was fat, so when I got married, like I learned how to talk to women. I became charismatic, and hooking up with chicks was easy. And it's kind of, if you have any sort of that thing in your life, where like he was a fat kid, then he became this big player, but underneath it, he's still just a weird fucking nerd.
Sure.
And like it's awful and amazing all at the same time.
I'm interested. I'll check it out. I was just now thinking about Amy Smart once you brought that up, and just like whatever happened to her. She was in like 5 movies right there in that little time, and then just
and she
disappeared.
was like, yeah, like everyone loved her for a few minutes.
Yeah, man. She didn't have one of those like long running careers.
Know, another one that I forget that I actually really like is I always forget to watch it. Trading Places.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you brought that up. That movie needs more shine. That movie is fucking amazing.
It's so good, and I always forget it around Christmas time, and then I end up watching it like in the summer randomly, and I'm like, oh wait, this is a Christmas movie.
And nobody brings it up when they talk about best Christmas movies, and it's so good.
And I don't know why, even myself, like I was just like, oh shit, wait, that's a movie that I don't think of as a Christmas movie, but it's so good, and it is a Christmas movie.
The spirit of it is so much a Christmas movie too. Like it's got like thematically, it's like one of those good Christmas movies.
And maybe I should watch it. I own it. But like I said, I always watch it randomly. It'll be like in June. I'm just like, I feel like watching this Trading Places. I'm like, oh wait,
wait a second. Yeah.
Every single time I forget it is until I turn it on.
There's also this is a Thanksgiving movie, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is another very good film.
Another good Thanksgiving movie is the one where he's the stepdad who goes to pick up his bratty son from the orphanage with the guy um from God, what the hell's the name of it? Uh, the show where he used to Al Bundy, where he put his hand down his pants.
Married with Children.
Oh, Al Bundy. What's that actor's name?
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris.
Ed
okay,
O'Neill. I'm
like,
sorry.
Huh?
Ed O'Neill. Ed Harris is somebody
Ed,
else.
Ed O'Neill. Thanksgiving. I'm gonna pull this up because
I haven't
this movie
seen it.
Dutch.
No,
You ever
I've
seen
never
Dutch?
seen Dutch before.
Dutch is the best Thanksgiving movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I watch it every Thanksgiving. It is. You can even do Christmas because it kind of like it's in that snow time. I feel like maybe I want to watch Dutch today. Now I want to watch. I just want to binge watch Christmas movies all day.
Ethan Embry's in it.
Yeah,
I like him a lot. He's fucking.
dude, it is phenomenal.
It's a John Hughes movie too.
I didn't realize that.
No.
Yeah,
Ethan Embry, man.
That's a deep cut that I highly recommend.
People sleep on this guy. Just if you guys haven't heard the name Ethan Embry, he was in First Man, Blind Spotting, The Devil's Candy, Fashionista, Late Phases, The Guest, Cheap Thrills, Harold and Kumar, Confidence, The Independent. I'm just going through his fucking positively reviewed ones, but man, he's so good.
I always liked what was it? The one about the record store.
Oh yeah, Empire Records.
You loved Empire Records.
That's a good one, man. Yeah, he was in That Thing You Do. This guy he's like one of those underappreciated, like Ben Foster.
Yeah,
I'll
Ben
put him
Foster's
in that
so good.
category. Ben Foster is good, man. Nobody knows that guy by name, though. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, he's such a. You, me, and my brother are the only people who like know Ben Foster's name and like rave about him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. So what else? Is there any good Christmas movies that are coming out this year?
I don't even know if there are. You know, I don't think so. Are there?
We didn't go see Last Christmas yet with Emilia Clarke in it. And I like her enough that I'm down to go and watch it, even though it doesn't look good to me. But
Did you ever see Office Christmas Party? I never saw it.
I didn't either.
Like, I'm like, it could be great, but I'm just like. Also, the thing with Christmas movies, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, I'm at capacity unless I just want to watch Christmas movies for the entire month.
Yeah, no, for sure. What about that one that just came out last year called Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell? Hey, are you there? Caleb? And that wraps up the show. All right. Here we go. Let's see if I can call him back real quick. That might have been it, guys. It sounds like Caleb had to get back to watching his Christmas movies. So there we go. That's how you want to end the last podcast of the year, right? Let's see. Maybe he'll call me back. Caleb, you there? Caleb? Now I got to go in and edit. Son of a bitch. I was just hoping I could just go all the way through. Not have to edit. I'm imagining he's just having technical difficulties, but it's okay. We can end the podcast this way. I do want to say, as always, thank you guys so much for stopping by to check out this edition of People Are Terrible. It really does mean a lot that you decided to come by and make us part of your daily stuff. Well, not daily. You get what I'm saying. But happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate, do it well. And we hope that you have a good 2021. Got a lot of good stuff planned going on here in the upcoming years. I found out that we've got our submissions picked out for the Pensacon Film Festival, which is going to be coming up very soon. I'm also going to be moderating the Pensacola Comedy Festival and Short Film Showcase here in a couple of weeks. I think it's January 5th, which is on a Sunday. I'm actually really looking forward to that. If you guys want more information, make sure to check down in the links. Check down in the description where I'll post a link. I feel very vulnerable here by myself, guys. I'm not lying. I'm used to having some backup and some support, but now all I got is this empty window saying, "Hi, Jeremy, get started," and something message from below. But anyways, yeah. So cool. Appreciate you stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, click the like button. If you want to stay up to date with all of the terrible content, all you got to do is subscribe. But most importantly, and until next time, happy holidays, be terrible. Yeah, and Caleb says the same. Peace.